It'll be a good selling point. We'll say Vicky just abused the hell out of him.
I really did. Honestly, it was so funny when we got in to my folks. We were so tired because it had just been a brutal couple of days with the memorial and everything. By the time we got to my folks, and we just like sort of unloaded the car, set the cooler on the floor, and completely forgot it was full of mead until the next day. So, and it was like 90 degrees in northern Michigan that day. So, and the cabin doesn't have any air conditioning. It doesn't even have very good fans. So, yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
now, Vicky mentioned before Moscow Mule, which reminded me that my good mate Joel Robinson has his favourite brew from you was the Moscow Mule. And, he asked me today if I could say hello to you.
We love us some Joel. Yeah. He's a good dude. He got a nice dose of Detroit area America, that's for sure.
He's also given me a couple of pointers about what you're at and things like that. So when you say you've got it's nigh on a litre, so we'll just call it a litre crowler.
Yep.
When I think of that for mead, I think, wow, I'm normally after a half bottle rather than a half extra in my bottle. But you do session meads typically. What sort of gravity, or not gravity? What sort of alcohol are we talking?
6% pretty much across the board on the session ones. Anything that's going into a crowler like that, unless it's like a specialty, we've done some specialty releases that people wanted in crowler, but that would be to like take and cellar and share and that kind of thing. But the leader doesn't really scare people away because it's only 6%, so they generally, they want it for their evening and they only need one or two.
And if you're holding on to it, usually you're cracking it open with a friend or something like that, so it goes pretty smoothly.
Yeah. I can imagine with a friend it would work. I wouldn't be driving after one of them.
No.
Right, it's just a pint apiece if you're splitting it.
Yeah, well, there's that. But yeah, I don't. Yeah, no, I'm not drinking. That's not gonna happen. Oh my God, my head would be so sore the next day. Besides, after my little fun in the ER last fall, and now being on blood thinners, I've discovered that my tolerance is a lot lower than it used to be. So,
cheap drunk.
What was that?
Cheaper,
right?
Yeah, I'm a cheaper drunk than I was before, definitely. No question about it. Sad but true, but there you go. That's all right though. I still enjoy it, and I have just learned.
Well, we only drink for taste, anyways, right?
Right.
Yeah,
right.
always.
Oh yeah.
So it's actually unfortunate for Vicky because she can't taste as much anymore before she gets sloshed and has to sleep.
And has to drink a lot of water, take aspirin, and then sleep. Yeah, no, I don't. I don't like getting sloshed anymore. I just like enjoying myself, and at some point, I almost always switch to water and just watch everybody else get sloshed. It's more fun.
I'm a get slosh type.
Yeah, well, you're younger than me, hun. So. Get into your 50s and it's a lot more painful. So.
Yeah.
That's what they said about 30s, and I'm still not believing it.
Yeah, I didn't know. In 30s, I was perfectly fine to get wasted and no worries. I mean, it was just fine. But yeah, no. Once I hit like 47, 48, suddenly I realized that the next morning hurt.
Yeah, I've been getting that since about 30. I actually have a higher alcohol tolerance than hangover tolerance, so I can actually have a hangover without being drunk. So
that's no
it's really it's really counterproductive to get
that hurts.
So turn to the taste.
Manny joined us. He was having some minor technical difficulties earlier. Hey, Manny, welcome.
Hi, thanks.
Manny's in Manny's in Miami. Miami. Can't say it without putting a Y in the middle of it. I don't know why. It just makes it. It's the only way it sounds right in my head. But yeah, Manny's our third host, and he's usually here when we start. But yeah, technical difficulties in the TARDIS kind of got
Yeah. I dropped
Is there a hurricane about to hit down there? I saw some weird weather.
That's typical. That's Tuesday.
It's Miami.
Right.
It's Florida and it's fall.
Right.
Yes. Yeah, it's pouring cats and dogs out there. You can if you I don't know if it's getting through in the microphone, but on all of my air conditioners you can hear all the water dripping.
Pitter pattering.
Oh yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
But other than that, it's fine. It's okay. Just a little rain.
So, boys, let's get a little bit of more background on you guys for the people out there that don't know who you are. Tell us a little bit of your story. What got you guys into mead in the first place? I mean, how did all this get started for you?
Mine was when I was, 17 or 18. I was in Africa and got, asked to join a circumcision ceremony. And we showed up and they had mead. And they called it honey beer. And so, obviously, when in Rome.
Yeah.
And,
not to mention circumcision ceremony.
Yeah, there's nothing like watching a guy get his foreskin cut off with a machete. And so from there, it just kind of really caught my eye, and in later years I was able to jump into the pros.
Nice.
And I never started out doing homebrew or anything. I just jumped right into the professionals.
Oh, wow. So you went straight from, I know what this stuff is, into being a professional mead maker.
Yes.
Wow.
That's pretty impressive.
That is pretty impressive.
Yeah, Andy and I started on the home end. We've known each other since we were 5, and it just kind of happened to where we fell into it at the same time, even separately. All of us I was at school, he was down here still at school, and it just kind of all separately worked. I ended up getting a job at a brewery up there, just like doing the all the early sweeping work and whatnot, and figuring it out. And we judged a competition together, and I got put on meads before I had even had mead ever in my life, and I was like, okay. And so we went around, and I tried to buy as much mead as I could to even figure out what it was. And so we ended up going and judging, and I got stuck on fruit meads the entire day, having never tasted them in my life. But by the end of it, I knew knew what was going on a little bit.
I can imagine.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's a trial by fire there.
Yeah, pretty much. And then we eventually, worked our way into the after homebrewing for quite a few years. From beer, mead and cider kind of hit, and it caught definitely our eye way more than beer overall. I think we did certainly a lot of beer, but something Andy and I actually made our first mead batch together in his mom's kitchen way back, and that was seriously just mixing honey water together and seeing what happens. And then
I think that was 2010.
Yeah, probably something like that. And because we started homebrewing probably 2 years before that, something like that. And so I think that was probably the first homebrew batch, and we just got honey and tried to start figuring it out. And it definitely caught the eye way more than beer, I think that's for sure.
I think it's just more, I don't know, maybe because beer's been around as a craft beverage for so much longer. Mead's just kind of more fun, maybe because there's more, there's more uncertainty.
We were uncertain, that's for sure.
Still uncertain.
It ended up tasting like the rubber bungs that we used. We couldn't figure out what was going on.
Oh my gosh, that's
yeah. There's probably still some bottles hiding in his basement. Actually, I saw.
Horrible.
It was still horrible. It didn't age out.
Oh my gosh. Sorry, we had
I've not found rubber ages out.
There. Sorry about that.
Not found rubber tends to age out too well, eh?
Yeah, it doesn't.
Yeah.
So wait, how did you guys go from that rubber first batch to being confident enough to open up your own meadery? What was the process? Can you tell us a little bit about how you got from there to here?
We needed work.
Yeah, just super obsessed with trying to make the best product possible, and it being very, very diligent about researching everything and trying everything, and just getting it to a point where when we broke into the professional stuff, when we met Ian, that was just kind of ride the train together, Yeah,
it all kind of fell right into place.
Yeah.
Cool.
That is cool. So one thing that we didn't ask you yet is, what are you drinking?
Perrier at the moment.
Oh, Perrier. You guys are being good, huh?
We've been working since 9 this morning, so
Oh, yeah. Well, no.
at the end of the day.
Yeah, I hear you. Now, you guys are doing this full time now, right?
Oh yeah, we generally. I mean, depending on what's going on for the day, I'm out on the road usually all day, or sort of stuck doing some computer thing, and we're out at a festival like this right now. We're in the middle of doing the Renaissance Festival up here, so every single weekend is booked and double booked with stuff, and then they're here all day making stuff. Andy actually handles all the beer. Ian watches Mead and Cider, and then we all come together on a lot of Mead and Cider stuff when we can. So it's all hands on deck since there's just 3 of us now, and it just all day every day.
7 days a week.
7 days a week.
Well, the Ren Fair will keep you busy. Michigan's a big show.
Yeah, it's a whole big thing, that's for sure. And we, so it takes a lot of time. We do have a taproom manager now, and she completely saved our asses just from needing a body to stand behind our taproom and like make, put a face out there and show, take it over and serve people. And
better at it than
she's better at it than we were, and just being, getting out there and taking care of our taproom while it was amazing to meet everybody when we could and like put our faces out there and say these are the guys running it, and like meeting everybody, meeting our regulars and seeing what they thought of the product. That was like indispensable for what we could have done and created. But eventually we started tallying up, wow, we just need it. We're spending a lot of time standing behind the bar, and it's great, but there's so much work piling up. We gotta figure something out.
Fortunately, there's only so many hours in a day.
Yeah, that's very true. I've noticed that those 24 hours seem to go awfully quick.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Yeah, AJ has like been working.
I pulled 2 back-to-back 12-hour shifts on Sunday. I've had 7 hours sleep since Saturday night, so I got to go back into work after the show.
Welcome.
Isn't it great?
I know, right?
Oh God! At least I'm paid by the hour.
Yeah, I told her that she could take a night off from the show if she wanted. She's like, no. So I assured her she started snoring that we'd drop her from the call and let her sleep.
Yep.
That's why we're doing radio, not video. So
that's right. Yeah, so we won't have
Plus,
to.
we're pretty ugly for video.
Yeah.
Oh, I am not a pretty sight today.
Yeah, no.
Any day.
But to say, you guys were when I was there. It was a hot day, and you were all in the back. Was it pitting cherries? The day I was there.
Yeah, we were doing the cherries. We were was that getting ready to do the smoked?
I was milling them.
Yeah. So we had put a bunch of cherries on a smoker, 100 pounds of cherries we did on our smoker with cherry wood, and then I ended up having to, we were just smashing them all, getting ready to go into the mead.
And then we actually took that and made it into a firkin.
Well, half of it we put into a firkin, the other half we put into local whiskey barrels from Motor City Gas that they distilled with malt that was smoked with cherry wood.
Yeah, so it'll be a cherry wood smoked mead. And they, barrel aged. They have some really great product, and we get their small batch barrels that we get to put, all of our stuff in. They're really awesome small batch stuff. So that day we ended up for Mead Day. We did 6 new things. Yeah, 6 new releases that we were able to put out, and one of them was a firkin. So we just kind of, half carbed as much as we could in a firkin and poured it real ale style, room temp, unfiltered, uncarbed. Just let it pour naturally. And so people really like that. Plus the others we ended up doing a pineapple 5-spice mead that we called Pho, like Pho, the Vietnamese soup. A cucumber basil mead that was totally dry. We used biodynamically grown basil from this farm in Detroit that we work with, and then Michigan cucumbers, and did it completely dry and carved because we're kind of pushing out there as like the dry guys. And a peach with Falconer's Flight hops that we called the Elegant Lady because it was Elegant Lady peaches. And then I forget what. Barrel fermented raspberry. We fermented the raspberry mead in chocolate whiskey barrels, and then let it age the rest of the way out.
That was in the barrels when I was there, and
Yeah.
I really, 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 did I say really want a bottle of that?